I think this year's going to be exciting. I think that from a real estate point of view, I mean, it's probably similar to the market that I started in. I think it would be a great time to get into real estate because I think that, there's a lot of skill and effort and work involved in getting sales and getting listings at the moment, but the sales are there. Whereas it's not that booming market 2 years ago where you could just
2020.
Yeah, 2021 where it was easy. And that's when everyone jumps in and then they jump in and they're only cut their teeth in a boom market where you don't learn any skill. You still need skill at the moment to get houses sold.
Always,
The last few months I've got a lot of second time listings. So listings would have been on with another agent and another company. I just got another one yesterday. And they couldn't get the deal done. Like they had small exposure. They had a small company. They had an agent that was
and quite small thinking often around it.
They weren't creative around their marketing and possibly the agent was saying the wrong thing to buyers because as a sales consultant in real estate, our ammunition's our words. So if we say the wrong things, we can cost an owner the sale. And no one, I find a lot of people out there don't differentiate between companies and agents, and that's probably what you and I are trying to talk about to people all the time because there
is a difference
in the business. You see an agent can impact, in my belief, 10 to 15% of value onto a property. I had a property that I sold in Clyde Road last year, and I thought it was worth 2 million maybe. The owner thought it was 2.2. We sold it for 2.47 million. So 200 to 300, almost $300,000 more than the owner thought, which I thought was optimistic. And that shows you the difference that a really great process an agent can make. So it's so dangerous to use the wrong people. And that's what I see in all aspects of life. Dangerous to use the wrong solicitor, dangerous to use the wrong real estate agent, dangerous to use the wrong cleaner, things like that. But we see the same within Harcourts Gold because I think that a lot of people look at a real estate company and they think they're all the same. And, one of the things that I see when I talk to people about real estate is that they get excited because they've been offered a job by somebody. This company's offered me a job and they get really excited. But what they don't realise is that real estate can be a bums on seat industry and they take anybody. Like there was, unfortunately, when I did my papers 20 years ago, there was people in my course that couldn't speak any English and they still passed them. And you think, God, these people can go and sell $1 million house the next day, and it just seemed wrong. They would have left the industry very quickly. But we see that within business, don't we? What do we see? What's the difference between Harcourts Gold and maybe some of the other companies out there?
Hey, I think Harcourts Gold genuinely cares about growing you. So growing you as a real estate professional and growing you as a human being. So there's a lot of work done on that space. And, we've done that with Sarah Endersich, with the involvement that we've had with Sarah, a fabulous psychologist, been working with us for 2.5 years, nearly 3 on growth mindset, and all the things that's required in that space. I think we've got our internal mentorship, and you're one of them. And there's Mark O'Loughlin, there's Brendan, there's Yuting, there's Debbie Soper. There are seasoned professionals who are available to you throughout the company just to say, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And it doesn't mean their manager isn't doing their job. It means that there's somebody else who can help you and give you relevant advice at any time. And I love that initiative. I love that we've done that. But I think it's that we have a genuine belief that we can help grow people.
I'm just thinking I've had 2 breakfasts this week with other people within our company. So, and I don't usually eat breakfast in the morning. I fast through later on in the day. But when I go on the mentoring things, I go and have breakfast with them all. So I've got another one tomorrow morning. How special is that? How special is that we're the number one consultant internationally for Harcourts out of thousands of real estate people. And you're the number one throughout New Zealand. And you will take the time to have breakfast. Having 3 this week, it's amazing. I had breakfast with someone yesterday from our company, and they've actually just moved companies and they've come into Harcourts Gold and they just love it. You can just see every time they come to work, they're excited and they're trying to set their business up for the year. And we had a great talk. And we just didn't talk about real estate. We talked about life. And we talked about, because I sort of believe that if you get everything, right in your life, then your real estate will take care of itself as well. But from that conversation, he's taking a buyer through one of my properties off the market today. So
isn't that amazing?
The quality of business that comes from those sort of conversations, and it helps me out as well as helping him out.
I love that word, the quality of business that transfers through those interactions.
Yeah.
How powerful is that?
Another funny story, and you won't like this about real estate agents, but I looked at I did an appraisal yesterday, and this is going back into the difference between agents. And, I went and looked at this property, and they're in Waitakere, and they actually talked to me about the person that they bought their property from. And they said when they walked into the open home, the person actually said to them, "Do you want a drink of water? I'm terribly hungover. I'm going to have some myself." And then they thought, "Oh my God, how can this person sell the house properly?"
Are you serious?
And the whole experience was terrible. So I felt terrible because it's one of those stories that you hear that you don't really want to hear about your own colleagues in real estate. Yep. But I know that person is an agent, and, unbelievable that would come up in an open home. But how do those people feel having sold their house, with that person? It would be terrible. They can't get a premium price for a property with an agent like that. So be so careful with the company that you choose and the person that you choose.
So do you think when people are interviewing consultants for the opportunity of selling their home, that they should ask lots of questions, do lots of research, or just get more than a gut feeling? Do you think they should go off recommendations?
Well, I think recommendations are always key.
Yeah.
But I would talk to a couple of people. I think some people talk to too many people.
Yes. It's a bit, like when there's 5, you're the 5th person through here. And
You don't really know what you're looking for. But I think you've got to have some questions, and you've got to like the person, but you've got to trust the person. I think it's very easy to sit down with someone and they'll tell you what they want you to hear, what you want to hear.
So that's where you get that over-pitching kind of, overpricing. We'd call it in the industry buying the listing.
And that happened a lot last year because there's a lot of agents out there that need the listing. So they need the work, so they just tell you what you want to hear and then they can't sell it. And then you end up getting less money down the track because you change agents in 3 months' time, or you sell it after 3 months because, you suddenly meet the market and you should have got more money to start with. So that's dangerous.
It is. It is. Now, Cam, I know we're getting the wind up from our in-house producer director. We're open to questions, always.
Always love questions. We had a few good ones last year.
Yeah, we had some bloody very good ones. So nothing's off the table. People can ask us whatever they like.
Yeah. Can ask Lynette whatever they like.
You can ask us.
I get some really exciting questions.
Yes, well, I don't want to know about those questions. Thank you. You might get a few more after today with your theme. Yeah. With your theme. Okay, 2 last questions. What are you reading?
Yeah. Well, the one I'm reading, I can tell you what it is. I forget what it's called now. But the one I talked about before, just to look on my phone, and I listen to them. I don't read them. So it's You Can Heal Your Life, and it's by Louise Hay.
Yes, it is.
And it's written 40 years ago, and it's a really good book. I'm enjoying it. It's along the same lines of beliefs and thoughts that aren't true, which is a lot. I love
most of them, isn't it? Most of what we tell ourselves.
I love reading about the mind, how to control the mind, and the stuff you tell yourself that's not true, and how you can make yourself better. And like they say that the negative energy and the stuff that you tell yourself breeds cancer and breeds disease and causes starts headaches and stuff like that. And it all comes from the stress we put ourselves under. So if you can live in a more purer life where you're not telling yourself bad stuff or not being hung up or on blame or things like that, and it just the whole life becomes a little bit more enjoyable. And then you start attracting different people around you, and then you start having more fun, and then you start
it's like Mel Robbins let them, that whole sort of let them concept that's flourishing throughout the world. I really like that she does that. But I'm reading, and I read. I occasionally listen to things. I do. So I'm reading Better Than Before, Mastering the Habits of Everyday Lives, Gretchen Rubin. I really like that because it sort of gives you some tools and strategies on how you do stuff. A book on energy, which I really love, by Lisa O'Neill, who you and I are meeting next week on Tuesday. She's coming to our launch. A Māori word a day. I'm up to like day 4, but I'm trying. And then a big history book, Tangata Whenua, which Johnny gave me for Christmas and is precious. So
So you can see that Lynette's reading kind of 4 books at the same time, so she's putting me to shame.
No, I'm not. But you know how we have those we're so different in the way we do things, but very connected in how we look at life and business, and that's been part of that magic. Okay, so final word, Cam?
Take time for yourself. That's my theme.
That.
You know, love yourself, take time for yourself. You know, the small things count. You know, for me, one of my favourite things is just actually sitting at home and, you know, like on a Sunday afternoon, I've done lots of open homes and I might have a cheeky cigar and listen to a podcast or read a book. And I just think, you know, those moments are great. You know, moments with my kids.
The quiet stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking
at
taking the kids away said day somewhere for the day, maybe up to Hemna or, you know, the hot pool somewhere. So like, make those moments special.
I completely agree. My final words is be kind, and if you're still fortunate enough to have your parents, just love them to bits. You know, I think that's sort of what I'm about. Besides all the other things, it has been beautiful, Cam. Will people see a bit more of us this year? I think we did better last year than the year before.
Yeah, we did.
Did we do like 8 or 9?
Yeah,
we did 8. We did 8, and we. To be fair, if it hadn't have we hadn't have finished the year we did, where with Mum, we would have got to 10, I reckon. So the count's on.
We love the feedback. I mean, I'm always bumping into people that are talking about it, and I love what you guys said, and Lynette's always bumping into people as well. So
totally,
we'd love to talk about what you want to hear, and we'd love to be vulnerable and raw, and that's the whole key to it.
Is that right?
Because I'm kind of
vulnerable and raw. Yes, I think that's the reality. A beautiful thing. I wrote, because I write for Metropole, and I write for another magazine that was Style, but I think it's O3 and Avenues, and I shared a poem that one of my aunt, my mum's sister, her last remaining sibling of 9, wrote about my mum, and I told Cam yesterday I was contacted by this lovely lady who does work at the Knox Church here in Christchurch, and she said we have a lot of elderly parishioners, and this poem will help them. May I send it to them? So good, beautiful things have a way of finding other people and helping, and that just made me so happy. So I think if we can do anything that helps other people, we're there.
Agreed.
So number 1 down of let's try for 10.
Sounds
10
good.
sessions this year. See you then.